heard wherever you may be and however you may be listening live in Los Angeles. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Christine Leahy is joining me for Hour 2. We're going to have live cameras for the next 2 hours at Sam Darnold's Pro Day. It's 35 minutes away from where we're at right now. The projected number 1 pick in the draft. He did not throw at the Combine. There's no real reason if you're a number 1 pick to throw at the Combine. There was a forecast, as Christy knows, there was a forecast for rain.
I mean, how could you not know if you live here? It was like we were going to have a downpour.
And we have not had rain. So, and
a drizzle.
People were suggesting, that wouldn't be great for Darnold because, he doesn't have these big bent hands and the ball could slip out. NFL people want to see you throw under some duress. So they like you to throw. If there's a little bad weather, they'd love that. Especially Darnold, who plays in Southern California, and I don't think they had a cold weather game this year. I'd have to go back. I don't know if USC, I guess Notre Dame was cold, but Washington State was cold. It didn't rain. And, Jared Goff was one of the concerns. He didn't have enormous hands, so he played at Berkeley. So they liked Carson Wentz played in a cold area, but they played in like a dome. So they like to see some duress, and when conditions are not ideal, there's Sammy right there.
Are you going to this? I'm surprised you're not there.
No, Al, we have cameras there.
Yeah, but this seems like your dream. Why are you not there?
No, because I have
I'm surprised you didn't try to move the show there.
Listen, the vortex around Sam Darnold's ball is moving the rain away. That's what I am suggesting, that he is so gifted. I will say this, and we're going to go to Matt Leinart, who had a pro day at USC years ago, and I remember it being a little bit of a circus because I think it was Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, and Matt were just the kings of L.A. So yesterday at the very end of our show, last 25 minutes, we had Gotham Chopra on. Gotham Chopra is the son of, the author Deepak Chopra, 80 books, New Age, guru. And so he was the director of Tom versus Time. And we sat down with him yesterday for 30 minutes. Then he was on Speak for Yourself for another 10 or 15 minutes. And it became very apparent to me in the 2 interviews that the end of Tom Brady's career is much sooner than Tom's goal of 45 years old. Tom's 40. I believe, I said this last year, I think I said it the year before, and I'll say it now. I think this is Tom Brady's last year. I think the intensity of Bill Belichick to a 28-year-old Brady is different than the intensity of Bill Belichick to a 41-year-old Brady. I think the NFL is a grind. It wears you out. The practices, the OTA, the voice. Pat Riley's talked about this in basketball. You get to about 10 years, and that voice, players start tuning it out. It's natural for a mentor and a player. The player starts turning out, the mentor's voice. So anyway, Gotham Chopra weighed in on Brady's future yesterday, and he, too, thinks the future, the end is sooner than later.
I think the last 2 seasons have been really trying for him on and off the field. Tom has set this expectation or set this bar of 4 to 5 more seasons, and I'll play till I'm in my mid-40s. And, watching him and Alex, work, Alex Guerrero, I think he could physically. I mean, Tom is obsessive about his nutrition, about his sleep, about everything. He's a 40-year-old man. He's got a lot going on outside of his life. He's managing kids. Jack, his 10-year-old son, lives in New York, so there's constant coordination, right, going on there. Kids are in school. Kids have lives outside of that. And so there's a lot of stuff he's managing outwardly. And how long do you want to keep on doing this? We're both, I think you're friends with Michael Strahan. He's a partner of ours on this other stuff we're doing. And Michael says, I retired at 37, not because I physically couldn't do it, because I just didn't want to do it anymore.
I've told friends this. I love football. I never loved football practice. As a kid, I loved baseball practice. That was my favorite. And I loved basketball practice. I never loved football practice. The gear, the rain, the cold, the memorization, the choreography. Football's hard. You get hurt a lot. You get hurt in practice. Teddy Bridgewater's season, maybe his career, almost imploded at practice. Guys get Ryan Tannehill. Guys get hurt at practice. It's hard, the taping. I think the end is very, very near. And I think Belichick's intensity drove Tom early, and now I think it's wearing him out. And I know he has goals. I don't think this is going to be a big year for the Patriots. I said last year, and I was wrong, they don't feel like a Super Bowl roster to me. I think actually they've upgraded their roster at every place but left tackle this offseason. I think they'll actually have a little bit of a pass rush. But I think the end is near. The dynasty is going to end. I said yesterday, if you want to know who's more responsible for the dynasty, if Brady retired today, dynasty over. If Belichick retired this morning, dynasty lasts for at least one more year with Josh McDaniel because the offensive pieces, the quarterback and the coordinator, are in place. All right. It was supposed to be a downpour, but I guess in Los Angeles, clouds are unseasonable weather. So via the Coward Global Satellite Network from USC, Matt Leinart, 2 national titles, Heisman Trophy winner, college football analyst. Okay, let's go back to your pro day. Wasn't it a circus? Wasn't it like it was cameras everywhere?
I mean, this is quiet compared to ours. I mean, we had, and Pete let everybody on the field. Right now, they're not letting some people on the field, but there's actually a lot of scouts, a lot of teams here, obviously. But the bleachers that you can see around here were packed, and we had thousands of people in the stands. It was a circus. It really was, and we had a pretty exciting draft class, though. But this is very different than when I was coming out.
Yeah, you guys had 11 guys drafted that year. It was. I remember it being an event, and Pete now I could make the argument that Pete did you a favor because Pete wanted to create some anxiety for you. So let's see how you do it, and it'll show off to the scouts. How did your pro day go, Matt?
Oh, my pro day was horrible, Colin. I mean, it was just horrible. And the pro day is about it's a job interview. It is a high pressure situation, so you want to see how you perform. But it's really just seeing the arm strength, seeing how the ball comes out of your hand, how you move around. And for me, I had private workouts right after with the Jets and the Titans where I threw really well. So I had much better workouts in that intimate setting. But for me, the pro day, I was throwing with receivers during the process of training, and then they didn't show up, so I had all brand new receivers. Not that it's an excuse, but I didn't work out with the guys that I threw with at my pro day. I missed a lot of balls, and for whatever reason, maybe it was the pressure that got to me a little bit. But I think for me, I remember what I personally wanted to show. I wanted to show that I was more mobile and I could throw on the run that people thought, and that I had a stronger arm than people thought. And I think I did show both of those things. I just wasn't very accurate with the football, which was one of my strengths on tape. So, but for me personally, man, it was horrible. What a terrible day.
Well, let me ask you, if the Browns don't take him, I think the New York Giants may look at themselves and go, okay, timeout. We love running back Barkley, but I just don't think Sam's going to drop. We know Buffalo's desperate. Arizona's desperate. Cleveland's desperate. There are another 4 teams that maybe not desperate, but they need a quarterback. Could Sam hurt himself in the next hour? Could he hurt himself today?
Yeah, I think it's Cleveland or bust. I think we all know that. I think he's the consensus #1 pick. I think Hugh Jackson has already fallen in love with him. I think he would have to be a train wreck today. He would have to really struggle throwing the football, and he's just not. He's just not going to. He's going to throw the ball well. And like I said, he's got the arm strength. He's got the size. He's got all the attributes you want. I think he's just going to go out there and spin it like he's done. So I don't think today – I do think the fact that he didn't throw at the combine, which to me was an interesting choice, but I don't think that hurt him. No one's ever going to remember if he threw at the combine or not. But today is his day. So today is the day where he can showcase his arm talent, his athleticism, throwing on the run, all of those things that he does extremely well. And I was just talking to Jordan Palmer a little bit ago, who's doing the workout. He said he's ready. They were actually hoping for rain. They were kind of hoping for rain so he could throw in the rain. And like you just said, it's a little cloudy, but it's not going to rain out here. So he's going to have great conditions to throw the football. And I don't think so. I think he would have to throw the ball in the dirt 50 times in a row for him to not go #1 to Cleveland, in my opinion.
By the way, we have footage from your pro day. I was just told in my ear. You're making it sound like it's the worst day ever. I think we're going to roll this tape.
Well, they probably cut the clips that I
let me see.
I completed the balls.
Okay,
right?
so you're tying your shoe.
You did a great job tying the shoe.
Boy, you look tall. Okay, you're going backwards.
How's my hair? My hair was solid. My hair was solid too in that day.
Let's see. Hold on here. Boy, you're quick. I don't know. That's pretty good.
You know
form.
what? So for me, it was footwork. It was all about my athleticism and my arm strength, and I think I showed that. I mean, it wasn't my greatest. I remember Norm Chow. Norm Chow was the OC for the Titans, and they were picking third, and everyone thought I was going to go there. Obviously, they ended up picking Vince Young, but Norm after, I don't remember what he said, but he was like, Matty, you got to be better. I'm trying to pound the table for you. You got to be better. I was like, thanks, coach. I know. It wasn't my best. So,
yeah,
but then I had a good workout for them the day after.
Yeah,
so.
I'm watching the tape. With the edited tape, you look pretty quick and nimble. Now you're just an old guy.
My feet look good.
Yeah.
My feet. Yeah. Now I can't bend over, man.
Okay. So I've heard you love Baker Mayfield. Okay.
And I've heard you hate Baker Mayfield.
Okay. Then let's stop with hate.
Hater.
You hate Baker
I have
Mayfield.
added a couple of criticisms. I'm going to throw another one at you. So his coach is Lincoln Riley, who's a very smart kid. So Lincoln was either the offensive coordinator or the coach for Baker Mayfield. But he also,
Right.
Okay, here's a little story. So Lincoln Riley was the coordinator for a kid named Dominique Davis and a kid named Shane Carden at Eastern Carolina. And I'm showing these numbers.
Yep.
Okay, they had the exact same numbers. Well, not the exact same. Because, obviously Oklahoma.
And they also played against much different level of competition, Colin.
Yeah, but Baker had Oklahoma players with him.
But here's the thing about Baker Mayfield that I love. You go back to, and we can talk about the Big 12 defenses. Trust me, there are holes everywhere. I mean, I could probably go out there and play and still throw the ball and complete against some of those defenses. But you turn on the tape against Ohio State, which is an NFL defense. You turn on the tape against Georgia, wasn't his best game, but some of the throws, he excelled on the highest level against the best competition, in my opinion, and he did it his whole career. You go back, Clemson a couple of years ago, they got rocked, the offensive line. But the biggest thing about Baker and covering him the last couple of years, 2 years ago, he had P. Ryan, Mixon, D.D. Westbrook. He had great Oklahoma players, as you just said, around him. He loses all of those guys. Now, these are still big-time recruits. They're still good players, but they're young. Mark Andrews, probably going to be the first tight end taken in the draft, first-round pick. He was the mainstay from the year before. And look at Baker Mayfield, what he did this year with less around him, so to speak. To me, he elevated. He got better every single year. The system is great. Lincoln Riley is a great coach. Yes, all of those things are tribute to having great numbers. But I do believe in my heart that I think he can be a really good NFL player. He's got to go to a right fit. He's got to go to some coaches who are going to be tough on him, coach the hell out of him, because he's a competitor. He's a grinder. He loves football, and he loves the big spotlight. He loves that center stage. So I think he's going to be fine. And our boy Joel Klatt is right next to us. And we both know you compare Manziel and Mayfield. You hate Mayfield. I'm sure he's going to come on here right now, too, and say the same thing. Get off the Mayfield. Get on the bandwagon. Let's go, man.
Jesus. Okay, I'm not listening. Klatt, he just doesn't like me personally. So, camera guy.
Klatt just rips you on your Mayfield and Manziel stuff. Come on, man.
All right,
come on.
Cameraman.
Just because he grabs his crotch against Kansas, you don't like him?
Come on, but that's unacceptable. You can't grab junk.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, shake his hand before the game. Be a good sport. You're Kansas football, right? And then you go out there and you throw for 4 bills and 5 touchdowns, and they start talking smack. Hey, I probably grabbed my crotch a couple times and talked a little smack in my day, too.
What is going on?
Okay, camera person. Who's your camera guy? What's his name? What's your camera guy's name?
Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, give me a big wide shot here. Do we have Darnold yet?
There he is.
Where's Darnold? Oh, I don't want
we
Klatt.
got your boy.
Get Klatt. No way. All right.
Are we throwing yet?
Are we throwing?
We're throwing in a couple minutes, but like I said, the weather's good. I talked to Jordan Palmer. Sam's ready to go.
Okay.
Obviously, big Cleveland contingent here.
Yeah.
And all the teams to see him throw. So it should be a fun day.
Matty Leinart, Heisman, national titles, great hair. Good talking to you, buddy.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Take care, man.
Matt Leinart does a great job for us. Look at Klatt. Klatt's just hanging around.
He's observing. He's trying to do some work,
Hey,
some journalism.
This show's about journalism.
Yeah, that's what he's
Get
doing.
out there, not by the camera. Get out there on the field.
That's what he was doing.
Notes. Shows all about journalism. Not interested in opinions here. Okay, coming up next. So I just want to throw it out there. You may not like it, but I just want to throw it out there. Plus buy, sell, hold this hour. And we're going back live when Darnold starts throwing. Tournaments rolling in college hoops. Big weekend. We got 16 teams left. Baseball season's approaching. Hockey, baseball playoffs, basketball playoffs, around the corner. That means it's a perfect time to head to SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to every game. If you're going for a last-minute deal, you're planning a night out with buddies, you want to find a gift, tickets are a great gift. SeatGeek for sports, concerts, theater, and comedy. All you have to do, put SeatGeek app on your phone. I put it on mine. Easiest way I found to shop for tickets. Anywhere, anytime. Few taps. Find seats. SeatGeek, they search multiple ticket sites to compare prices. And again, concerts, comedy, sports, and theater. My listeners get $20, not percent, $20 off their first purchase. All you got to do, download the SeatGeek app, enter the code HERD, HERD, promo code HERD, $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Download that app. 2 clicks today.